I can't remember what I played. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Do I like this a little better? Okay, you guys. Hello, everybody. Your leader's back. Jordy J, just Jordy. I didn't do the last part right. That's what we want, kiddos. Okay, today. Well, let me talk about the other night. The other night, I sat down, I got to the piano. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I just sat down, and all of a sudden, I come up with 2 new songs and mash up one song that I already had in the middle on either side of them. So I got one in the middle and 2 on the sides. Don't take that out of context. Okay, I think I found something. Where did I go after that? I know I'm not. I know. I know that. I know. I'm not the only one. And I wrote that song years ago. Years ago. Probably one of my first songs I wrote. And I never wanted that to be true. But it's like literally First of all, that's what I need to do. I need to go my own way. I really do. And it was never even about like a man. It was never about that. And originally, the song was written, well, that's when we had just lost the right to abortion. And we like, that was when that conversation was first starting, when I was first writing that. And I remember the bullet like that I'm talking about is like our rights. Like, you might as well shoot the gun. Actually, maybe I should like, there's no yesterday. Like, you can't go back to yesterday basically and turn the clocks back and try and get your time back. Okay, you guys, so I had to change my positioning because my phone died. But I guess I'll just go on a debrief of what this song was originally about and how it kind of changed at the end. So there's no yesterday. Like I was saying, I wrote this around the time when I was hearing on the news that women's right to an abortion, that was when the first conversation was starting to spark up, and I started writing about it because I'm like, oh wow, like women have lost their rights. And that when Roe v. Wade was overturned, essentially, that this is when I wrote that song, or this song. So there's no yesterday, and I know it's hard. There's no turning back the clocks. There's no going back to where we were in our judiciary, or the holding of the judiciary. Essentially we can, go through this process again in order to overturn its now or the current ruling. But at that time, it just seemed so unlikely. And so I was like, there's no more yesterday. There's no holding set at this point. And I know it's hard for a lot of women who are going through those circumstances. Fortunately, I've never had to go through that process, but I stand with all the women who choose to make that decision, who choose their own choice, their own bodily autonomy, because at the end of the day, as individual people, we should be able to have our own say in what we do with our own bodies. So I understood how much of a hardship this is to not only me, who has never gone through this process, but for the women who have, and I feel for them. So, and I know it's hard, and there's no Friday, and that's when we're paid. And I wanted to add that part in there because it's so important for people to make money. I mean, this is obviously an economy and a society that it runs on our monetary interests and what we do in order to inflate what we have. But there are people who are living paycheck to paycheck. And so they're just looking at Friday not as just a regular day, but the day that they're getting paid. And you get that Friday's paycheck, and it's like, if you're going through something like that, this Friday just looks like the next Friday or the last Friday that I just had. And the incentive to really work hard and to do stuff is just looking like another day. It's just a day for me to get paid. So there's no Friday, and that's when we're paid. And so the next lyric goes, and now that there's no tomorrow, there's not even today, which is essentially what I had just explained. And since there's no yesterday, I'll do it my own way. Since things are already going crazy and some of these things are out of my control, I'll do it my own way. I'll do it my own way. And that's not to say I'll do it my own way and having an abortion. That was not. So before you go and reach, I've never had one. This just happened to be the time in which I was writing this song. And I wasn't writing it for me. I was writing whatever was coming up into my brain for the circumstances externally. So let's clarify that now. And I hope that's not to say, choose your own route and like go against the government. That's also not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm just gonna take measures into my own hands and go off of what I can control and do it my own way. Course repeats, I'll do it my way. There's no Monday. There's no Monday. I brought this back to the women. There's less of a right. And it was very apparent at the time. We've lost an individual right now. We have less rights than other counterparts in this world. There's no Monday, okay? Her bodily autonomy has been disarmed. There's no Monday. She has been disarmed. Pull the trigger. It'll do no harm. Basically, the outside perception being like, it's not that big of a deal. Just go with it. Kind of in air quotes, like, oh, if we do this, nothing's gonna happen to y'all. Just go about your day the same way and act like it's just a regular day. Perform like it's a regular day. Round 1, you've shot the gun. Okay? And if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck. So round 1, you have shot the gun, and the bullets were gray. And since there's no yesterday or Monday, I'll do it my way. So if it looks like you just took away my right, you're acting like you just took away my right, like I have less rights than you, I'm just gonna go my own way at this point. When you call me by my name and you think we're all the same, you don't shoot for speed but aim, and we'll all go down in flames. That was the next part. And then that last part. That did turn into, I think, I'm not really sure when I was writing that or who I was writing subsequently about during the last part. Maybe the big C, maybe the first C. No, was it around that time? I started talking to Big C in the summer of 2023. I think I was just still like crying over him, probably, because I never really talked to anybody before that romantically. Just close the door. I can't do this anymore. And this is kind of me coming to terms at the end, like knowing a situation is not good for me. And knowing that there's someone else who you obviously deem to have the qualities that you would like over me. And it just happened to be a pattern now that I recognized. I'm like, oh, well, this is so ironic. Because this has already happened. Because after I stop talking and I go back to school for my last semester in senior year, I see on January 1st, while I'm working with my dad for his catering company, couldn't even watch the ball drop. I'm getting yelled at and screamed at because I wanted to record and be like 3, 2, 1. I see on Instagram, like, new girlfriend, like, love you. Broke my heart. Broke my fucking heart. And I was like, wow, so easy. Like, I guess when you really know that you want to be with somebody, you know. And I hate I hate not being somebody's number one, or like just the thing they want to look at behind a glass cage, like dollification or something, and like not get touched, and you just kind of keep me on your back burner, because that's the situation I'm going through now. So when I was singing that, I was like, oh God, I never wanted that song to, at least for the end's sake, be so similar to right now. I never wanted that to apply to me. I was just writing crap that sounded good in my head. But the first part was for circumstantial events that happened outside of my control, that I just happened to want to sing about because I knew so many people were going through like a hard time. And so maybe that end of the song is for the people who are going through that and recognizing, despite going through some of these things, I need to do it my way. I need to do what works for me. And sometimes I don't like coming to terms with that, because the things that need to work for me are probably going to be in opposition of what I'm currently doing. And I don't like that realization. And I know I'm not the only one going through that. I know it. I know it. So I'm sitting here crying for all of us, basically. Okay? No need for you to fucking shed a tear. Pardon my enthusiasm. I do know that song on the piano. Pardon my enthusiasm. Sitting here crying like my waterfall. I'm sweating and crying. Guys, I have class at 6 o'clock. It's almost 5 o'clock now, and I need to walk there. No, I need to give you my enthusiasm, even though I just shed a tear on camera. That is so embarrassing. I'll just give you all my love. Mwah, I love you.
And nobody is when they say I'm done. Everybody hurts when they're dancing with a gun. Nobody hears the shots are falling, drawn. There's gotten worse. We blame the game.